Live from Studio 1396, Columbus, Ohio, broadcasting over 100,000 watts of all-American electricity. This is Late Lap, and I am your host, A.J. England, loud and proud, here entering this 1976 reunion. And I want to say I'm still recovering this great or not so great voice, if some of you don't care for the show. Did lose it entirely back at Norwalk over the weekend, working some drag racing. And, that's a good problem to have. That means you're having fun. I know we've all lost our voice a time or two. And we talked about some great racing last night. We had probably at this point the championship favorite, Justin Ashley, in NHRA's Top Fuel class on. And he awarded us with some of his opinions as we go down the stretch. Of course, an unusual victory he experienced over Sean Langdon 2 weeks ago. This one a little more dominant. And I want to say thank you to Sarah and Justin and Skag Racing over there, everybody. It's a great group of people, and I love being around them. I spent a lot of time with Mr. Glady last week, and I couldn't have been more happy. It was a real full circle. Now, before we get into the car of the day, I write an article every single day I work at the racetrack, and part of there's a little bit of truth, a little bit of embellishment. I always tell people when you go to the racetrack, you got to write an article a day. Well, that is an old school standard with all pro sports, and if you didn't, they wouldn't let you back in the media center. Of course, now you could definitely argue most men and women in the tower are better known for their video, but I still write an article, and I don't really have a rhyme or reason because I'm the editor. I've sold my website. I publish through X. So I just write about whatever the hell I want. And Friday's article was about the Skag Racing team. It was about Justin and Dan Wilkerson and Mr. Glady. And so it was real cool. I got a text from Mr. Glady, said that he had read it, and that was great. And it was cool to see that turned into something a little more interesting with the victory. I'm really proud of those guys. So it was really cool. Now, we were going to talk about Chase Elliott and his unusual NASCAR win, but it dawned on me. This is the first holiday special of the Late Lap coming up. We had to do it sometime. And folks, I know I've been off air a little bit, but I am going to take Thursday night off to be with my family and my friends. I come from a proud military family, and so any kind of patriotic holiday we usually spend together. And so I just wanted to discuss and enjoy a little bit of Independence American-themed fun. And we're going to start with the car of the day. You ever meet someone who just doesn't flinch? Who doesn't back down, doesn't blink? That's the vibe the 2025 Ford Expedition Tremor gives off the second it rolls into view. See, this isn't just your average soccer practice, Costco hauling 3-row SUV. No. This is the kind of full-size beast that sees a rocky trail in Utah or a washed-out logging road in Oregon and says, let's go. It's not trying to impress you with glitter or glamour. It's here to work, to climb, to survive. And maybe even, if you're lucky, to teach you something about adventure. This is Ford flexing in a new arena. For the first time ever, the Tremor badge finds itself planted on an SUV platform. Instead of its usual home, the rugged frames of Ford trucks. And what better candidate for that transition than the Expedition? A vehicle that's already earned its stripes as one of America's most capable people movers. But now, it's a little dirtier, a little louder, a little more fun. Let's start where all journeys begin, the outside. You'll notice right away LED lights built into the grille, a front bash plate that dares a boulder to blink first. And those tires, 33-inch knobby General Grabber all-terrains. They don't roll, they conquer. Wrapped around, 18-inch wheels with a telltale orange valve stem pocket. They send a message loud and clear. This ain't just for the mall parking lot. That orange pops up in other places too. Painted tow hooks, front fog light surrounds, small designed cues that scream capability without shouting luxury. And then there's the ground clearance, 10.6 inches. That's more than enough to get you over stumps and rocks, snowbanks, and whatever metaphorical hurdles your day might throw at you. But you still can't crawl over the old lady in the Starbucks line. But don't just think that the Expedition Tremor is a brute in boots. Step inside, and it greets you with a tech-forward interior that matches its off-road persona with modern comfort and connectivity. Up front, a massive 24-inch display stretches across the dash, keeping your maps, media, and vehicle data right where you need it. Below that, a 13.2-inch touchscreen sits ready to serve with Ford's new Google-based infotainment system and Apple CarPlay, both. Plus, if you have an older phone, it comes with Android Auto, Google Maps, and Google Assistant. It's like your phone, no matter what device you have, moved in and got its own suite. And I know I talk about how they frustrate me with the smart devices, but it is important. This isn't just a cockpit for the driver. Ford's thought about the entire crew, everyone in your family. Front headrest mounted device holders keep second row kids glued to their screens on road trips. The power sliding center console moves up to 8 inches for better access, because comfort should never be locked in place. And around back, the split folding liftgate gives you a bench seat with a view of whatever vista you just climbed to see. Even the seating configuration got smarter. The 40-20-40 third row layout means you can carry more awkward cargo without sacrificing passengers. Longboard, skis, ladders, even a few awkwardly shaped dreams. Yeah, this SUV can handle those too. Now, let's get the real reason the Tremor exists. Performance. Think about the Ford Raptor. We all know about it. The Tremor is kind of the brainchild of it. A high-output 3.5-liter twin-turbocharged EcoBoost V6 pumping 440 horsepower and a jaw-dropping 510 foot-pound of torque. That's not just brawn for the sake of brawn. That's targeted muscle for families who don't just camp, they explore. Take that, Durango. Who don't just vacation. When we drive a Ford Explorer Tremor, we roam. This engine was previously reserved for Ford's top-shelf Platinum trim. Now it's standard in the Tremor. That means it's built to move you, your gear, your trailer, your boat, your dreams, across pretty much anything you dare to point it at. And with standard four-wheel drive, the 10-speed automatic transmission, and an electronically locking rear differential, the only thing holding you back is probably you. Do you want specifics? Try rock crawl mode. A drive setting only known to Jeeps for so many years, has been with the Bronco and other Ford vehicles lately. Well, now it's in all-terrain models. Or how about Trail Turn Assist, a feature that locks the inside rear wheel so you can pivot in tight spots like a pro. And for those really gnarly descents, the one-pedal driving option makes it feel like you've got off-road cruise control. Every little button and dial in the Tremor whispers one thing: go ahead, try me. It's clear what Ford's doing here. They've realized something critical about the modern family. Just like Dodge we mentioned last week, they don't want to fit the mold anymore. Not every family needs a vehicle that prioritizes looking like a light bulb. Some of us want dust on the tires, stories in our scars, and a vehicle that isn't afraid to sweat a little bit. The 2025 Ford Expedition Tremor is for the family that loads up and heads out. The one that finds freedom not at the airport, but at the trailhead. No offense to my friends at Southwest. It's for the parents who want their kids to grow up knowing that the best views come at the end of the bumpiest roads. And yeah, maybe it's a little overbuilt for the daily school run. But no one ever regretted having too much capability when it started snowing sideways in November. Will it cost more than an old Timberline? Probably. That trim just starts shy of $74,000, and with Tremor's enhanced tech, Raptor-inspired features, an exclusive high-output engine, you're likely looking north of that. But you're also getting more than a trim badge. Think about that. The Bronco has like 85 versions, oftentimes just looking for a declaration. But this isn't a compromise vehicle. It's Ford putting a flag in the ground and saying, families who want more than pavement, we see you. We built this for you. So as long as you as order books open and this SUV rolls onto lots next spring, don't look at the 2025 Ford Expedition Tremor as just another option. See it for what it is. A challenge to the idea that you have to choose between family ready and trail ready. Because now, for the first time, you don't have the kids, you can have the camping. You can have the carpool, you can have the canyon. You can have it all. You just need a vehicle that doesn't flinch, and that is the 2025 Ford Expedition Tremor. And, first of all, I see you, DJ, and you said that the win was fire. I'm pretty sure you were talking about Chase Elliott, maybe about Justin Ashley. They were fire moments, but not as fire as this Tremor is. It was just announced sometime. It depends if you're looking for a press release sometime earlier this week. If you're looking for fan announcements about a month ago, we started seeing it. Ford PR put out the pictures you're seeing on social media. Just today, their most recent post on the X social media covers this. It was posted about 9 hours ago. I make no secret, I am a Ford owner. It's the only car I've driven for well over a decade, and I enjoy it, but I'll call it fair, and we celebrate all cars on here. But the Ford Tremor, really unique. It's a combination of the Bronco, the Mustang, and the F-150 Raptor, kind of all in one. Well, here's something, if you thought that was unique, folks. This one is fucking nuts. Every town this week is going to have its fireworks. Most are going to have a parade. Some might even have like a community cookout or a local band playing Lynyrd Skynyrd on a flatbed trailer. But there's only one place where freedom is measured in pure horsepower times trajectory and a GoPro hurling off of a 300-foot cliff strapped to the hood of a junkyard hero. And that place is Glacier View, Alaska. That's right, the most patriotic, backwoods, beautiful, red, white, and ridiculous American celebration is back in 2025. If you've never heard of it before, well, buddy, buckle your seatbelt. Actually, scratch that. Loosen your seatbelt, because this one's all about sending cars off cliffs with zero intention of anything surviving. Welcome to Glacier View Car Launch, a 4th of July event so legendary it makes monster truck rallies look like little tea parties. Since 2005, the 300-person town of Glacier View has celebrated America's independence not with caution, but with chaos. Every year, residents and brave souls from the far-flung corners of the state and throughout the country gather on the edge of a massive Alaskan cliff, load up their unwanted cars with some throttle tension straps and just enough hope to make it interesting. And then they send them flying. No roll cages, no safety nets, just pure, wicked American gravity, velocity, and a whole lot of hold my beer. How does it work? The setup is as gloriously reckless as it sounds. Cars are positioned at the edge of a cliff with the wheels tied straight and the gas pedal jammed up. And if you go on YouTube later tonight, they actually jam it with cinder blocks. That's it. There's no driver, unless you count the sacrificial GoPro, which bravely captures every bone-crunching second from the hood or the dashboard as the vehicle yeets itself off a 300-foot vertical drop. The goal, total obliteration, and in some weird way, glory. America, right? There's no denying the pure, unfiltered patriotism of this event. It's loud, it's excessive, it's got danger, explosions, and an enthusiastic crowd waving flags and cheering from directly outside the impact zone. That's right, these folks don't just watch from like a mile away. They gather at the bottom, right there. They're just hooting and hollering and sometimes even dodging flying car parts like it's the Indy 500 and you're just around for the ride. This is a demolition derby that meets base jumping for Buicks. This isn't just an event, it's a lifestyle. And if you think of it like the NASCAR of cliff diving, if the drivers were junkyard Toyotas and the track was just, down, and it's all done for the love of country and spirit of the community, and that American urge to say, what if we did something totally nuts just because we can? This year, the event is bigger than ever. More cars, more launches, more GoPros flying to their heroic demise, and more fans ready to experience the only 4th of July event where the only thing louder than fireworks is the sound of a rusted-out Crown Vic slamming into Alaskan tundra at a terminal velocity. Now, why does this matter? Because in a world where everything feels calculated, you gotta appreciate that, this isn't cautious. This isn't corporate. Glacier View reminds us that America was built on wild ideas, big dreams, and the occasional act of beautiful madness. Where else do you get to stand at the edge of the earth and watch a minivan turn into confetti with a chorus of eagles in the background and a hot dog in your hand? It isn't a show, it's a celebration of the unhinged spirit that makes America, America. This July 4th, don't just light a sparkler, light your patriotic soul on fire. Glacier View, Alaska, July 4th. Dozens of doomed cars, one incredible view, and 0 regrets. Bring your lawn chair, bring your camera, and bring a little bit of that frontier courage, whether you're there in person or watching it online while grilling ribs in the backyard. Know this: somewhere on the edge of the Alaskan wilderness, an old Camry is going to die for freedom. God bless the USA, God bless Glacier View, and God bless whatever your poor car is doing next. All right, folks, take a breath. Tonight, this show isn't about breaking news. It's not about rumors or pit strategy. It's not even really about horsepower or crew chief. It's about a moment that truly mattered. And I'm going to tell you all about it after the break. And we are back here on, here on Late Lap. One special flashing moment in history happened about 24 years ago, and that's this week's Race in Time. One that felt too perfect to be real, too emotional to be planned, and somehow too American to ever forget. July 7, 2001, Daytona Beach, Florida, the Pepsi 400. One of the most powerful, poignant, patriotic weekends in the history of motorsports. And frankly, in the soul of this sport, now Independence Day is this week. So it's only fitting we rewind the tape. Because this race wasn't just a race. It was indeed a resurrection. Let's set the stage. It had been less than 5 months since Dale Earnhardt Jr., the man, had passed. He had lost his life in turn 4 of the Daytona 500. The nation was indeed mourning. The garage was stunned. His team, his son, gutted. And yet, the season kept going. The trailers kept rolling. The haulers kept moving on. Something about it all felt off, like we were missing a beat, missing a shadow. Missing the presence of the black number 3. Fast forward to July of that same year, 4th of July weekend again, Daytona, the same track, the same curves, the same ghosts, but now a new chapter. Dale Earnhardt Jr. walking to his crowd. The crowd was cheering. So there's Dale Jr., just 26 years old, and he's carrying the weight of the family name, a broken heart, and the entire emotional soul of his garage on the shoulders. And beside him, Michael Waltrip, the winner back in Daytona, teammate and friend. But not just any winner, the winner on that day that they lost Senior. The last guy Dale Sr. ever blocked for. That's not a stat, that's a scar. The green flag dropped. Junior started 13th. No one knows what's going to happen. But lap after lap, something starts to feel different. He's not just good, he's dominant. He leads 116 of 160 laps. At Daytona, in a restrictor plate era, that's unheard of. And you can feel the tension rising. Every fan on their feet, every crew member pacing, every camera locked on the red and white number 8. It's like we all knew what was going to happen, but nobody dared say it out loud. Then, caution. 9 laps to go. Jeff Gordon smokes the motor, and we bunch them all back up. Dale Jr., he was back in 7th. In front of him, Bobby Labonte, Johnny Benson, Tony Stewart, some wild cards, and some heavy hitters. 3 miles to go. Green flag drops. Junior hits the throttle like his dad's foot just tapped it from above. He moves to 6th, then 5th, backstretch, slings to 4th, then 3rd, turn 3 into 2nd, and by the time he rocks off to turn 4, he's out front. The crowd explodes. People are crying in the stands. Crews are crying on pit road. I'm nearly crying reading the script. He doesn't do a basic celebration. No, this one was spiritual. He rubbed the gar against the wall on purpose and essentially paints it black with his scars. Metaphoric to what maybe the 3 could have done. He does donuts in the infield like it's Talladega Nights. Climbs up onto the roof with his hand in the sky. And then that wonderful moment we all know about, and you see on the screen that Napa Chevy. See, it's in the final moments there that his teammate, the one that won the race in February, is right there with him. It's like you let somebody into your house for a meal, and now you're going to have the favor, and now dinner's at their place. It was really interesting, the 1-2 finish in February, and now they flipped the result. But it was that special moment after the race where they do the swan dive style. They're hanging out, they're enjoying it, and so many men and women that worked that day have said you could actually hear the cheering over the cars. It was pure joy. It was pure release. The son winning not just for his team, not just for his father even, but for us. Now, you can't write this kind of script. You just can't. 11 years to the day since Dale Sr. won his first main event at Daytona, Junior wins his first points race at Daytona. That wasn't a stat either. That was a sign. And it was the last Daytona race before the world would change. Just 2 months later, on a quiet Tuesday morning, the towers would fall. Nothing would ever be the same. But that night in Daytona, it was a gift, a send-off, a thank you. It was America before we all hurt, before the fear. It was a young man with an old name giving us something we didn't know that we needed, a reason to live. After the race, the fireworks lit up the Florida sky, not just in celebration of the winner, but in tribute to the one who wasn't there. The number 3 lit up the light show, a retrospective roll across the screens. Fans stayed long after the checkers fell. Jeff Burton said it best. This sport lost a hero, he said. A lot of people lost a hero. But in regards to Dale Jr., he lost his hero and his dad. Michael Waltrip never even tried to pass him. He's said many times it wasn't about winning. He felt that they won together. He said he remembered a phone call from Junior after the 500. I was committed to you, buddy. That's how the Earnhardts did it. That's how racing teams and families do it. And that's what, even in 2025, in this unusual spec era where there seems to be no rules, no faith, no tradition, I do believe that's still what it's all about. This week, while we fire up our grills and wave our flags, we remember that America is built on moments like this. Not the bullshit that you watch on CNN or Fox News. Not the political evolution between your family and friends. It's memories where a kid overcomes heartbreak in front of the entire country, where a name written in chrome become inked in history and inked in memory, where fans don't just cheer because it's exciting, it's because they feel something. They feel something real. So yeah, you can talk about the average speed, the lead changes, the 3 cautions, the lap 146 wreck, but I'll tell you what matters. Dale Earnhardt Jr. won at Daytona on Independence Day weekend, 5 months after burying his father there. And in doing so, quite literally gave America the kind of finish that we pray for, but never expect. It wasn't just a race. It was a race in time. And I believe with all my heart, we will be trying to live up to that forever. And we have ever since. Happy Independence Day, race fans. We'll be right back. You know, at the end of the day, we always say the same thing at the end of this show. It's a really honest and consistent message. And I'd like to hope that all of you watching, at least if you're from the States, and I do want to say hi to the New Zealanders and the Aussies. You know, we look at our data, and nearly 25% of the people that have tuned into this show have been from over the water. So if you're in New Zealand and Australia, I understand this may not be your Independence Day weekend, but excuse me, but I hope that you understand that we celebrate ours here during ours, and that's an important weekend heading into it. So it's not all to make it American patriotism, but maybe this week it is. I'm getting just angry at the divisive world we're in, and I was raised religious, and I'm proud of that. I'm a proud baptized Christian. I'm a believer, and we're supposed to love one another. And so I think that's one of the things that makes America great is we're all kind of from the same loin, you know. It doesn't matter who you are. They teach you it in kindergarten, and yet now as adults, we pay taxes out of our paycheck so that our government can try to make us hate each other. That's essentially what I think is happening, and that's not that I'm against the current president. In fact, I was very vocal about my opinions on the last one, so I'm far more in favor of President Trump than Biden before anybody gets angry. But at the end of the day, you pay taxes, too many of them, and that's a big part of what Independence Day was too. Remember, there's other things that have happened in our history. We've got the Boston Tea Party, and we've got the departure coming from England, and it's not all, Christopher Colombo came over here and raped and murdered all the women. Like, there's so much more happening that was great historically, and I refuse to be a part of that narrative. So I'm going to probably become a little more political on this show over time, but we'll still celebrate the automobile and racing a good 95% of the time. So as I say at the end of every great show, be kind to yourself, be kind to others, smile, be happy, and until then, take care. And to our friends in the South, sea amable consigo mismo, sea amable con otros, sonría, sea feliz, hasta entonces, Cui de se. We're off tomorrow. We're off all weekend. Next week, Monday through Thursday, 4 live shows, 9 o'clock sharp. Thanks for tuning in.